Hello and welcome to the Victorian Active Ageing Partnership Self-Assessment Tool and Resources, which was developed with assistance from a working group and overseen by the Victorian Active Ageing Partnership Project Advisory Group. This film will take you through the main version of the tool, which has been developed for community health services, fitness leisure centres and local councils. Other versions of the tool have been developed for University of the Third Age, neighbourhood and community houses and also state sporting associations. Another version has specifically been tailored for the use of YMCA Victoria's fitness and leisure centres. The layout and format of all the versions is similar, so this film is designed to be viewed by all users, regardless of the version of the tool you will be using. Please also note that when each of the versions is opened, particularly for the first time, there is a message that says security warning, macros have been disabled, and then a box saying enable content. You need to click on the enable content box. This is quite safe to do so, as it is only to do with the formatting of the tool. To get started, you will notice various tabs along the lower edge of the Excel workbook. Let's have a look at each of those tabs. From the front page, we move on to the Introduction tab. Here you will find background information about the self-assessment tool and several tips about using the tool. It is important that you read and consider this information before commencing your use of the tool, as it will help you to be well organised and gain the maximum benefit from the tool. It's strongly recommended that management at your service is either involved in using the tool or is aware that staff are using the tool, as their support will be important for any follow-up actions that are required. Next, we have a user guide, which guides you through the layout and different components of the tool. Again, the user guide is the same across the different versions of the self-assessment tool. Take the time to look through this tab before you start, so you know how to get the most out of your use of the tool. We then come to the three main tabs in the tool, focusing on your organisation, your programs and activities, and your leaders or instructors. These three sections are in line with the Victorian Active Ageing Partnership's evidence-based framework for the engagement of older people in physical activity. You can work through these tabs consecutively or in any order you decide. It is also important to remember that you do not have to complete the tool all at once. It's recommended that the tool be used by organisations at least once a year and that it be completed over a 4 to 6 week period. This way, people have an opportunity to think about and discuss the responses to the various criteria. Alternatively, one staff member or a small group of staff may initially complete a section of the tool and then discuss their responses with other staff. Again, you can decide what is the best way to use the tool that suits your organisation and setting. Before we look more closely at the three main tabs, I'll just point out the tab marked Action Plan. This tab is designed to assist you in planning any follow-up actions that are identified as you work through the tool. So let's now look at the first of the three main tabs, that is the Organisations tab. Again, in line with the evidence-based framework, we have our components and key features. With the assistance of the Self-Assessment Tool and Resources Working Group, we were then able to define criteria to determine how you might identify these key features in practice. You will notice beside the majority of the criteria, there is a red hover button. By hovering over each of these buttons, you will be given further background information or explanation in relation to each criterion. To the right of the criterion, you are asked to choose from a drop-down selection as to whether this criterion currently exists at your service. Then moving to the right, you are asked to note down what your organisation is currently doing well in relation to the key feature. This is important, as it is always good to stop and think about aspects that are working well or about improvements that have already been made. Next, you are asked to note down what you might need to improve in relation to the key feature. Remember, no one outside your organisation will see your responses here unless you decide to share them with others, so be honest and open in identifying aspects that need improvement or possibly don't currently exist. Even well-functioning organisations and services have things that they could improve or which could be better. If you identify an issue or aspect that requires improvement, move to the Helpful Tips and Resources column and click on the corresponding hyperlink. This will take you to tips, ideas and resources that may assist you in addressing the issue. The list of tips, ideas and resources is not inexhaustible, so if you can't find the help you need here, talk to other staff and even other services to find the assistance you need. The way we have worked across the first key feature of positive ageing is the way you will work across the other key features in the Organisations tab. When you click on the Programs and Leaders tabs, you will see that each of these tabs or worksheets are set out in a similar fashion. Remember not to rush through your responses or your discussion. The process of reflection and review prompted by the use of the self-assessment tool, in addition to the follow-up improvement actions which are taken, are all extremely important in ensuring that we are all offering the best and most appropriate physical activity opportunities for older people. One last thing, you will notice on each of the Organisations, Programs and Leaders tabs, the table is duplicated below. This is to allow you to use the tool and complete the table at your next time of review and still have the previous data available. If you have any queries or problems while using the tool, don't hesitate to contact the Victorian Active Ageing Partnership Coordination Team. The contact details will be on the web page. Thanks for taking the time to listen and watch this video, and good luck.